when there's no more room in hell, Vegeta shall walk thee! What the hell?
Now, before I could truly begin the video, I need to get something out of the way. Yes, I'm playing Stand Awakening. And before that one person asks why I'm playing this specifically, that is mainly due to my boundless luck of me somehow losing my mouse a few days prior. So I decided to get some gameplay through the easiest game to play without a mouse, which was this. But to start the video, let's begin by addressing the major elephant in the room, which is my year-long disappearance from YouTube. And this would be the part where I would go on about how busy my life was and how school's been kicking my ass, etc, etc. But I'll be completely honest with you all and say that none of the reasons I stated were the cause of my year-long absence. In fact, why I was gone was mainly due to a lack of a functioning laptop. Around 2 years ago, the original laptop I had started to have issues. At first, with slow startup times on applications, websites, the screen randomly getting multiple error pop-ups whenever I even turned on the laptop. Then over time, it began to get laggy, like really laggy, to the point where it majorly ruined my gameplay recordings and made playing games both inside and outside Roblox a complete drag. But I still held on in wanting to use it, mainly because I didn't have the money to get anything better, and so I attempted to clean my laptop up to heavily reduce the multiple issues it had, and it worked for a time, before it didn't. No matter what I did, it could still loop back around to being completely slow and laggy. Right when I thought things couldn't get worse, the incident happened. I was in the middle of recording my Transformers Legends video, where when I was done recording, I wasn't paying attention and the laptop fell on the side. So for the next 7 to 8 months, I had to not only deal with laggy gameplay and slow startup times, but a laptop with a faulty screen that when turned on, the screen stayed black unless you turned it on and off multiple times in a row. Needless to say, my 2024 throughout YouTube was not a fun ride. It wasn't until the near start of 2025 after Christmas where I got a Christmas gift, around $150, which I thought at the time was perfect for at least repairing the screen. And so on a Thursday, I went on to the nearest place I could go to, which was Computer Guy PC Solutions. It was supposed to be simple. I go in, show what was wrong with the laptop in detail, ask for the price, and wait for however long technical support would take in fixing just the laptop screen. I was told after a quick examination that the price would be fair for fixing just my shuttering screen. Then 4 days passed, I was called and was told the final price would be $385. Even when I told them I needed just the laptop screen fixed and told them the amount of money I had, they still upcharged me close to $400 for a somewhat faulty screen. After I reiterated my financial budget again, they agreed to lower the price by $121, making the new repair price $267 while I still only had $150. So at that point I only had two options. A, ask my parents for an extra $125 for a laptop screen, or B, cut my losses and save up for another laptop. And after thinking about it, I would rather save up for a fresh new start rather than attempt to salvage something that, based on how well it does with recording gameplay, isn't worth spending around $300 just fixing the screen. So after posting my Omni Adventure video and dumping my old laptop at the shop, from that point on, my goal was getting a new laptop. And let me tell you guys, it was an extremely painful ride. I used the $150 I still had from Christmas to buy a new laptop from OfferUp. It was the cheapest option at the time, and I was in the thought process of not caring where it came from, just as long as everything about it worked properly. And when I got the laptop, it was a complete crap disaster, even worse than the original. I couldn't even play YouTube on it without random delays and lag spikes popping up every minute. So I immediately tossed it and it resulted for about $125. Now I barely had enough to even buy another crappy laptop, which I wasn't in the mood for anymore. I had to start saving up, and the quickest way I thought of for getting the money was selling old junk online through all the good marketplaces. After selling a laptop I wasn't using for $100, I was able to buy an Apple laptop. Now you might think that now that I have a new laptop, the problem was effectively solved, but the issue was me not knowing how old it was. And here's an apparent fun fact: the Apple laptop that I had was from 2013. And the fact that I didn't know was when a MacBook gets too old, it doesn't work. That doesn't mean that it can't turn on. It's more like you can't access anything or be able to use apps like Safari, Firefox. So I quickly got that dumped and resold in less than a day. And after a couple months, I was able to afford a new laptop. Now, why this took a couple months was mainly because the stuff I've been selling on multiple marketplaces has not been selling whatsoever. Information I researched online equated this to the current economy being garbage and everyone prioritizing the essentials. But really looking at it, the only stuff I was able to consistently sell on multiple marketplaces were electronic based, like the laptops, my tablet. All that was sold in less than a week. Even a decade-old laptop that can't be used anymore was instantly sold the same day I bought it, yet none of my other stuff like mirrors, couches, I even had a Santa Antique stool worth over $1,000, rarely if ever got an offer, but I digress. I bought the laptop and it was literally the exact same as my original laptop, but smaller. The gameplay recordings I did on it were okay, but still came with the exact same problems of poor bitrate, large bouts of lag permeating every game I touched, and after almost a year being gone, I couldn't come back to YouTube with the same mid-tier quality I had before, and I definitely didn't have the money to get anything better, and unless I had the new PS5 or iPhone, I wasn't getting anything sold for a high price either. So after a while, I decided to just give up and sell the laptop I had for some quick cash. It wasn't until next Christmas, which at the time of me recording this was around 2 weeks ago, where I was graciously gifted $400 in cash. Then I went to Hawaii afterwards, which was okay, but what made the trip extremely worth it was the fact that I got over $400. So during the trip, I was able to deposit the money into my account, order my new laptop online, which was way drastically higher quality than both my original laptop and the replacements. And here we are with me back on YouTube with a new laptop that records a way better gameplay than my old laptop. So now, after all that explanatory dialogue, the question is, what now? What happens now for content? And the answer to that question would be an honest, I don't know. As you can already tell by the intro, I missed a ton of content to make videos on. I missed a ton of opportunity to make videos on games like Time of Ninja, Transformers Crossfire, which is now Steel Crossfire because Hasbro really doesn't like the community having nice things.
Trogler, I can't allow them to make an independent Quimbly game. It's my IP to sit on and do nothing with.
Ultimate Assemble. I'm honestly a little disappointed in myself for not being able to come back sooner, but that's in the past. As for now, outside of games like DBXM, Omni Adventures, I the Diamond I can make content on for when they come back, I can't really think of other games to make videos on at the moment. So I'm hoping you guys down in the comments can help me out with some game suggestions, and hopefully they're good ones. This has been Rise of Respect, and it's good to be back.